What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another segment of Crossing the Line. I'm Sergio Cano. As always, I am with Matt and Brian. Fellas, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great, Sergio. I'm ready for a week. The Broncos are a disaster, and I'm excited for the show.
Yes, indeed. You are 100% correct. Well, fellas, let's start with a little bit of baseball. It's been an interesting one. Astros right now lead 3-2, and they're going back to Houston for Game 6 and 7. Is the World Series over as they lead and they're going back home? Matt, how do you feel about that?
Heck no, it is not over. Nationals are still in this, guys. Come on. And here's 2 words why. Steven Strasburg. One of the most underrated pitchers and one of the best pitchers in the MLB. We've all forgotten that the Nationals won 2 games on the road just like the Astros won 2 games on the road, okay? And here's a little stat, Brian. I don't think you can refute this. That in the history of the 2019 World Series, no home team has ever won a game.
Ooh.
Ever. Not once.
I didn't think about that one there, Matty.
And the Nationals don't have to win at home anymore. That means they're winning the World Series.
That puts all the pressure on the Astros. However, Matt, I didn't think you pulled that one out. I thought you'd hit me with this one. Although Justin Verlander is the only pitcher in baseball history to be 0-5 in the World Series, the Astros still have the World Series locked down. Because the Astros hitting is hot, Alex Bregman, perhaps the AL MVP, is getting hot again, especially with the long ball. And Yordan Alvarez, who struggled the entire postseason, is hitting .545 in the World Series. And the Nationals aren't hitting very well at all. They hit .125 and .133 in games 4 and 5. And even if Steven Strasburg has a pretty good game, if the Nationals can't get any hits, they're not going to win Game 6.
Here's my question for you, Brian. Okay. Are the Astros hitting that well against Steven Strasburg? And I don't think it's 3 games in a row that the Nationals' offense is going to stay this quiet, that they're only going to score a few runs. I don't think the Nationals' offense is even capable of staying this cold for this long, for 3 runs on the biggest stage, okay? They have some of the best hitters in the league, and I don't think that this team, the whole story of the national season has been resilience, okay? They started off 19-31. Now they're in Game 6 of the World Series, 2 games away from winning it all. I think just like the Nationals have done all year, they're going to be resilient and they're going to come back and they're going to force a Game 7. If all the Nationals have to do is win Game 6, Game 6 has more power than any other game in the series, okay? You win Game 6, you have the momentum. You've broken the hearts of the Astros, who thought they were going to win the World Series with Justin Verlander on the mound. And they thought they could smash the Nationals, winning 4 games unanswered. But I don't think that's going to happen today. I think that Nationals are going to force a Game 7, and we are going to have a great World Series to talk about.
Wow.
I don't know about that one. I think that the Nationals have been resilient, but the Astros just won 3 games. And the Astros won a bunch of games in the regular season, and there's a reason for that, because the Astros have far better pitching, they have a much deeper batting lineup, and they have middle relievers. So if Steven Strasburg gets hit around even a little, then who are they going to put in? Fernando Rodney? What's he going to do on the mound?
Fernando Rodney is a veteran. He's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of the stage. He's been there, done that. You know, I have confidence in Fernando Rodney. The World Series is a different beast, and I think players can come out of a shell that they won't come out unless it is the World Series.
Let me ask
So
you
I have
this.
faith in Rodney.
Let me ask you this. Fernando Rodney, Game 4, bases loaded, faces Alex Bregman. What happens?
Strikeout.
Grand slam.
Oh, wow.
Grand slam. So I think that even if Verlander doesn't have a great game, but as long as the Astros can hit Strasburg a little bit, there is no reliever that the Nationals have that can match up against the Astros?
I'm going to give you a statistic, Brian.
Oh, here comes with the stats.
I'm willing to bet my apartment that there have been more strikeouts in the World Series than grand slams. So I'm just saying statistically, historically, my prediction of a strikeout is far more likely than that in a grand slam for Alex Bregman. I'm just saying.
Here's all I'm saying there, Matty. Every at-bat, there could be a strikeout. How many opportunities is there for a grand slam in the World Series? Is it every at-bat? No, it is not. So it is.
I'm just saying.
I can't, don't quote me on this one, but I might guess in the World Series, Fernando Rodney has given up more grand slams than he has strikeouts. I don't think he struck out anybody this World Series. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair enough.
Okay, well, it looks like you guys are on opposite sides of spectrum here. If it does go to Game 7, who's winning that Game 7 before we move on to the next topic?
Goes to Game 7, it's the Nationals.
Ooh.
If it goes to Game 7, it's the Astros. The Nationals have no pitchers after Strasburg to throw.
What's the final score of a Game 7, hypothetically? Just top off your head.
19-4 Nationals.
Wow.
Ooh. I will go with 1-0 Astros. Pitchers duel.
Awesome. That would be a pretty boring game. I feel like I don't really know if it would or not. I barely know anything about baseball. But anyways, let's talk about something I do know. And this is some NBA basketball. You know, it kicked off last week. It's been super exciting. A lot of great teams, a lot of great surprises, and a few not so pleasant surprises as well, depending if you're a Warriors fan or not. Fellas, the Warriors are off to a little rocky start. They're 0-2. It's a little too early to tell, but we're just going to throw out this question. Will the Warriors make the playoffs? I think they just got to build a little bit of chemistry first. Maybe, build some camaraderie. Wait for Klay to get back. You never know. D'Angelo looks like he still needs to get a little comfortable. Like Draymond said, they suck right now, but at least they don't lack self-awareness, and they could build upon that. And like I said, it's too early. We saw the first time when they first had Durant how sloppy they started off at first. But Brian, will they make the playoffs?
I'm going to have to disagree with you, Serge. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Because after 2 games, admittedly, they are last in opponents' points per game. Can't play defense. 23rd in offensive rating and last in defensive rating.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they used to be an offensive team. Nobody expected them to play the best defense, but they put up the most points every game. They are 23rd in offensive rating this year. So I think that reflects badly on the team. Steph Curry is shooting 20% from beyond the 3, and he should be a veteran on the team, and he should be hitting those shots as one of the greatest three-point shooters in history. As a team, they're shooting 27% from 3, 36% from the floor. I just don't think they can bring it back together this season.
Brian, here's why you're wrong. Is that it has only been 2 games, and there's been numerous times in sports history when teams start undefeated, win a few games, and then they tank the rest of the year. It happened to the Mariners this year in the MLB. 2 different sports, but it's the same logic. But listen, the loss of Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston hurt. They're significantly worse defense. Can't deny that. But it's just all about the injuries right now, and I know that's a cliche excuse, but it really is. I think the Warriors have all the pieces to at least be a playoff team when you have guys like Alec Burks, Kevin Looney, and Willie Cauley-Stein, who are all great players, and they're just on the DL right now. And I think that even without those players, once you get Klay Thompson back, granted he'll miss at least half of the season, they will be a very good team. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in the lineup doing what they do best.
Let me just name you 8 teams in the West that are better than the Warriors. That'll make the playoffs ahead of the Warriors.
Ooh.
Clippers, Lakers, Nuggets, Jazz, Rockets, Thunder, Spurs, Timberwolves.
Oh, he's throwing the Wolves in there.
Okay.
Okay.
It is still too early to have verdicts on any of those teams. And listen, the Warriors, there's no denying that they aren't as good as a team as they were last year. But the first 2 games, they didn't play well. But they were playing against Some of the best teams in the NBA.
The Thunder was up by over 30 at halftime.
That was
the
bad.
Thunder.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Without
But
Russ.
the Clippers.
The Clippers are one of the
Clippers
best
are a
teams in
great
the
team.
game, but the Warriors were getting blown out by the Thunder at halftime.
You were right. That was my mistake.
That was bad. Yeah, I think, with the whole focus now, they don't have Andre Iguodala either anymore. The defense is hurting. I just feel like they just kind of got to come down and just, have like a meeting or something. Let's give it a few more weeks, a month or so.
Well, like you said, Draymond Green says they just need to find their identity.
Yeah.
They're a completely different team than they were the last few years.
Yeah.
All they need to do, they just need time. Basketball, you need time to build team chemistry more than any of the other sports because you have so much less players. And that's all they need is an identity right now.
Right.
They've changed everything.
Even a new stadium, everything.
New stadium.
I believe Steph will come back stronger than ever. We've seen it multiple times. What game was it where he went like, I don't know, he had a terrible game. It was like one of the worst nights for shooting three-pointers. And then the next game he broke it.
Steph is not going to stay cold forever. He is widely acknowledged as one of the best three-point shooters of all time. He's not going to stay cold for the rest of the season.
Right.
Okay.
Well, let's see how the season plays out. All right, fellas. Well, on to the next topic. Football. Good old football. There's a lot of good teams in the NFC, fellas. A lot of good teams. You have the Niners, the Saints, the Seahawks, the Packers, I think are the top four. That being said, who is the best team in the NFC? I personally think it's between the Saints and the Packers. And the reason why I say that is because the Saints just got back Drew Brees. We saw what they did without him. Terry Bridgewater did what he had to do, so kudos to him. They have good D. Special teams always seems to show up. They have good coverage. And like I said, Drew's back. That also being said, I think the Packers could also take it just because Aaron Rodgers, and I think it kind of depends more on Devonta Adams' health as well. But, Brian, who do you believe is the best team in the NFC?
So you mentioned two of the teams I'm going to talk about, the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. Obviously the Saints are a pretty good team. Teddy Bridgewater is 5-0. You thought Drew Brees goes down, they might have a tough one, especially when they lost to the Rams pretty heavily in that game that Drew Brees went out. But, Teddy Bridgewater stepped it up. Drew Brees is back, one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the game. And they have one of the best running back duos in the game right now.
Indeed.
Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray are both putting up big numbers. Kamara's not even having the best season of his career, which was last season. And if he starts to go off in the second half of the season, they'll look pretty good. 9th best in points per game against, as well as that defense has 24 sacks. Cameron Jordan has 8 sacks by himself. Wow. So that's the first team, the Saints.
Okay.
Hey, well, there's no denying that the Saints have depth at quarterback. You got Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Brees. But listen, let me tell you another stat. Okay, the Saints, when it comes to a point differential, they are plus 39, respectable. The Seahawks, point differential, they're plus 12. Now the 49ers, their point differential is plus 200. They have given up the least amount of points in the NFC, second in the NFL to only the Patriots by 11 points. And I don't think it's even a conversation that you can deny that the 49ers are the most complete team in the NFC. The only argument you can make is that Jimmy Garoppolo is a subpar quarterback.
Yep.
But I think after putting up 50 points against a pretty decent Carolina Panthers team, you got to give Jimmy Garoppolo some credit. 49ers have only given up 77 points this season. Okay, they have the defense. They have the running game. I think they have the throwing game. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I like what he brings to the teams. The tangibles and the intangibles. And I think that the 49ers have a real shot at taking down teams like the Saints, the Seahawks, and the Packers. Albeit the Packers and the Seahawks do have 2 MVP contenders in Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, but that's my instincts right now.
See, I see what you're saying. 49ers are undefeated.
Undefeated.
True.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Second best defense, if not the best. Getting a lot of sacks. Nick Bosa is having a phenomenal season.
Phenomenal.
among others on that defensive line. But I think, I've said this before, the 49ers have not played that many tough opponents. They play the Cardinals, they play the Browns. These teams aren't that good. And, the 49ers put up 50 on the Panthers, but Tevin Coleman had 3 rushing touchdowns. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't have that phenomenal of a game. The rushing game did great, of course, but I think you talked about the Seahawks. Russ looks like it could be an MVP. 2,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, only 1 interception. And Chris Carson is also having a great season, 650 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Defense is looking good, and they can win close games. We haven't seen the 49ers have to play those close games that they can win. So we know that the Seahawks can win those close games if they have to.
That's exactly my point, Brian. So I don't know what else you want from the 49ers. They're not winning close games, but you're also saying they're not playing good competition.
Oh.
So I don't know what you want. Do you want them to win close games against
I want them to play a
the
good
bad
team.
teams? They will play a good team, but they've done what they're supposed to do. They have beaten the teams. They've crushed the teams that they're supposed to crush. I don't know what more you want from the 49ers. Brian, why don't you believe in something, Brian?
I think the Saints or the Seahawks could probably crush all the teams that the 49ers play.
The Rams?
The Rams. The Saints lost that game.
It
But
was the first game, or it was one of the few games. The first few games, I think where Brian's coming from is, in the playoffs, we've seen teams win multiple championships, Super Bowl 50 Broncos, with not the greatest quarterback performance with the defense and everything else carrying them. But in the NFC, I have to put my trust in either Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, or Aaron Rodgers. But that being said, you cannot discredit the 49ers at all because they've been playing absolutely great football and demolishing everybody that's in front of them. Like you said, they can only beat who's up in front of them. And once they start playing the harder teams, like the division rivals, then we'll really, really get a picture of what the playoffs will look like. But yeah, I think me and you trust, and probably you as well, trust the quarterback position for the Saints, the Seahawks, and the Packers. But I guess we'll have to see, what happens.
sure.
That's right.
That being said, fellas, who is not the best team in the NFC?
I think that's an easy one. Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
Bears. Oh, my. There was a doozy this past weekend. Eddie Pinheiro missed a 41-yard field goal against the Los Angeles Chargers. That would have gave them the win, but it was karma because they beat the Broncos on a last-second field goal. So let's run through that highlight real quick.
Win or lose.
There goes the golden boy, Eddie Pinheiro.
Yikes.
Oh, man.
Missing that last second field goal. Could have given his team a lead.
I thought it was
The
in when I
win.
first saw it.
Kept him in the playoff race, but no. Tragic.
That sent us to the bottom of our division.
If only they would have had some elite, top-of-the-line coaching to show them how to do it right.
Snap. Yep. Well, that's what that's what you're gonna show us, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna go
we got
through that
another
right
Fail
now.
Mary this week, yeah.
Another fail
That's
Mary.
right. We'll show them how it's done. I think we're becoming kicking specialists. Last week we did the fake punt. This week we're going to show them how to kick the field goal, win the game, break everyone's
Celebrate.
hearts in Los Angeles.
Good afternoon, Colorado Mesa University, and welcome to another episode of Fail Mary. Today, we're going to be breaking down the play that happened between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Chargers, where the Bears missed a field goal as time expired. And today, Brian, Sergio, and I are going to show you how the Bears could have done it right. So basically the tactics here is that you want to Raise your opponent's hopes as much as possible so that you can increase their capacity for heartbreak. So when you score that field goal and ruin their chances of winning the game, their hearts will break into a million gajillion pieces. That's what you want. You want to make sure your opponent falls into a deep, dark depression that haunts them the rest of their lives. And that is going to be it for this week on Fail Mary. From all of us here at Crossing the Line, remember, keep failing so we can show you how to succeed.
They got the message.
They got the message for sure. That was absolutely hilarious. Didn't think it was gonna be that funny, but I was literally almost
That was a good
crying.
one,
I was
yeah.
literally
That was
almost
great.
crying.
You know, we got a point across. Lesson learned, Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you saw that if you hit the side upright and the crossbar, that's how you break their heart,
Because they think that they missed a field goal. They didn't.
Yeah, and we should expect some calls from the Bears. They have a long series of kicking troubles,
Yeah.
and they'll catch this video. They say, that's what we need to do. We need to bring in these boys from crossing the line. Show us how it's done.
Brian, we're gonna be a popular crew at the end of the season. I don't know how we're gonna make a decision. There's too many teams calling us.
Too many jobs, opportunities, teams. I don't even know. Most of you guys got the offers. I mean, but
Yeah,
I got a few.
We heard about, when LeBron had the decision, at the end of the year, we're all going to have the decision. We'll go on national television and say, I'm taking my talents too.
That's exactly what we
yada,
should
Who
do.
knows, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, that approaches to our last topic, and it seems one that a lot of people have been wondering when this day was going to come. Tom Brady seems like he never ages, or ages like fine wine. There's been speculation of him leaving after his 2019 season. He's set to hit the free agency for the first time in March. And him and his business partner, his name is, I forgot his name, honestly. But they're both plotting on selling their Boston area homes. Matt, is Tom Brady's time done in New England? Is he retiring? Is he done in football in New England? Is he coming back? Knowing Tom Brady, he's not going to let this, he's going to give you that old school response where I'm just focused right now on this week. I'm just focused on what I have to do now. What do you think, though? What do you think exactly?
Well, I'm looking at the evidence, Sergio. I'm finding a lot of reasons why Tom Brady is going to leave New England in one way or another. And I'm not finding a lot of evidence for why he's going to stay. For 3 reasons. Number 1, I call it front office infidelity. You saw the Patriots who were preparing to ditch Tom Brady after he fell off the cliff that they speculated that he would when they brought in quarterbacks like Jacoby Brissett and Jimmy Garoppolo. Number 2, he has been somewhat under the shadow of Bill Belichick, in that his greatness is tied to Bill Belichick's greatness, and some may speculate that he may not be as great or as successful as he would have been without Bill Belichick, and if he maybe had a coach, any other coach in the NFL, that maybe something would have been different. And reason number 3, I think maybe it's just too easy for him in New England, as much as it pains me to say it, is that, when you're playing Madden or any video game, and you set the difficulty level to rookie or whatever the easiest setting is,
easy.
you just get too bored when you're up 94 to 0.
Too easy, yeah.
And, Tom Brady, he's been playing in Super Bowl after Super Bowl, winning the majority of them. Maybe he just wants a new challenge. I don't know, a different scene. He's been in the league for a long time. And that's just what I'm saying, is that I think Tom Brady wants something different. And when you look at, he put his house up for sale. His trainer put his house up for sale, and he voided his contract. Maybe he's just saying, you know what, you wanted to replace me? Well, screw you. Patriots, Bob Kraft, Bill Belichick. That's my thoughts.
See, I don't think Tom Brady will be anything other than a Patriot. I think, first of all, I'm going to say, where is better than playing for the Patriots? They have the best defense in the league right now. He's well on his way to winning his 7th ring. Why would you want to leave the team to go have a challenge when you can have 7, 8 rings on your fingers.
That'd be ridiculous.
That's my first point. And my other point would be maybe it's just time for him to retire. I think the defense has been carrying him this year. Tom Brady hasn't had the greatest season of his life. Last season wasn't phenomenal either. But that defense is incredible, as we've seen. And there's no shame in retiring as the best quarterback in NFL history. No shame at all. Protect your body. He's been in the league 20-something years now. And there is no shame in leaving the game as the best quarterback ever.
I hear you, Brian, but here's also what I'm saying is that I don't think Tom Brady cares about leaving the game as the greatest quarterback ever as much as he cares about having fun playing football for a living and doing it at a higher level than anyone else. And that's one thing. And the other thing is that I think there's a lot that we don't know that goes on in the Patriots organization, and a lot that really frustrates and irritates Tom Brady. Because I think the Patriots make a lot of decisions that Tom Brady does not approve of. It's like the whole Patriots strategy of getting rid of players for little things that most other teams in the NFL wouldn't. Remember how upset Tom Brady was when the Patriots got rid of Wes Welker? And so I think that there's a lot that we don't know that the Patriots do that Tom Brady doesn't like. Maybe he doesn't have as much power in the Patriots that he might have in other places. He might be able to get the personnel he wants. He might be able to do the things that he wants to do. I think that's what Tom Brady wants. It's just a different scene where he can have different people around him in a place where maybe he just feels like he needs.
Here's what I'll say. The Patriots release their players for small incidents and whatever, but are they the best team we've ever seen? Perhaps, with Tom Brady among other people who have come through that team. Did they make the best team ever? Yes. And I think to Tom Brady's defense, if he retires, what else is there left to do? What else is there left to do?
No, the same thing every retired NFL player does and joins the
Sure.
NFL analyst,
but
TV analyst team.
Yep.
Sure, but he has 6
commercials.
rings.
Make commercials.
Nothing left to do in the NFL.
True.
You got supermodel wife and raise your kids to be NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Be better than you. I don't know.
Sure.
It's Tom Brady's life.
He's gone to 9 Super Bowls, won 6 of them.
That's right. He's just bored, I think.
Yeah.
Bored of New England, bored of winning all the time.
Bored of winning
He needs
all
a new
the
challenge. Maybe he wants to lose. I don't know.
Well,
regardless of what happens, we've all been blessed to see really the greatest quarterback of all time just play all these years. Regardless, even if we didn't like him,
hate him.
I learned to respect him and really, be in awe of his game and the way he just seems like he doesn't really age. He'll have an off year, playoffs come, and boom, you can never count him out. But that being said, fellas, that's the end of our show. But before we do that, shout-outs. So for me, I'll go first. Shout out Derrick Rose. He's been balling, looking like vintage D Rose. Go show him some love. Tune into his games. And shout out Skyler and Jerry's fantasy teams. We see you guys. Fellas, what about you guys?
My shout out goes to the meanest mammal on earth, Tiger Woods, for winning his second PGA Tour title of his career, tying Sam Snead for the most all time. Keep doing your thing, Tiger.
Wow.
and my shout out this week is going to be to the New Mexico State football team for going independent and having no teams to play wants to go independent, no conference teams. So this season they're going to play Liberty University twice. Shout out to them for not being able to find any more teams to play this season.
It's a good shout out.
Awesome, yeah, really good. Well, thank you everybody at home watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We shall see you next Monday, and hope you guys have a great rest of your week. See you later.